a week in the 2020s situation, had a kid, kind of like just
the COVID kid.
Yeah, man, I feel like I just had to start over completely, and I feel like I'm not myself in the dance world is not where it was, not as inspired, not as around. It's just what it was.
Fuck dance. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, man. I still love it, but not as much anymore. The one thing I miss that I used to have before having a child, because when you have a child, people stop hitting you up.
Really?
People stop asking you to hang out. They just assume you're busy all the time.
I don't have a child, but people definitely stop hitting me up.
Maybe if I'm your child. Maybe
I should have a child then.
Yeah. No, for real. Like even like
I need friends. I mean, same.
I got my lady feels the same way, man. Like they just assume you're busy all the time. They assume that you're like if I hit you up to hang out, you're gonna have to get a sitter. I don't want to put you through that. You're probably busy, so like I don't have conversations with my friends anymore.
Oh yeah.
I don't fucking do it, and I miss that shit a lot. So
After having a baby?
yeah. You know what I mean? And so like the only time I feel like I see my friends were at an event, so it's like a hi bye.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I don't sit down with the homies anymore. I can't just up and leave my crib anymore and go do whatever.
Yeah.
Because I got other
I love that. So
responsibilities.
That's a really good reason.
Yeah, you made a platform to be able to share these conversations. I was gonna say you chose the right team, by the way, because this girl can literally do everything.
She was my first.
Like when it comes to dance and personality, growth.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and you're still hella dope.
She was my first. Luckily, I didn't have to write a list of options. I was like, let me ask Sheila first, and if she says no, I'll figure it out. And she was like, yeah, and I was like,
That's crazy how it works.
Good.
Like you think of that person, it's like, oh, it's perfect,
Yeah.
and it worked out. That's cool.
yeah, 100%, man. With that being said, welcome to the L&L podcast.
Woo!
Get a lecture from a couple of dope individuals, and then we get in the lab and create something dope for you guys later on. Co-host SheelaAwe.
What's up, guys? Woo! So happy to be here.
Got two homies of mine who are very big and successful and separately in their own ways, but I thought it'd be dope to bring them on together because they have known to do so much together. And I feel like you guys have had great father and son type of energy and just the dynamic, and I just want to like chop it up a little bit between the two of you. Dom, you are probably one of the truest mentors that this industry has ever had to offer.
Oh wow.
You always open your knowledge to people, whether you're busy or not. There's been times in the past when you had your little studio under on Weddington, and everybody, it was like it just, on the outside looked like a store, so people just walk into your crib all the time. And be like,
wisdom.
yeah. There's times, man. That's when like Millennium, Debbie's, ML, they were all in the same
Studios still lived, yeah.
Studios were still alive and popping, and we were there all the time. And I would like, or 24 Hour Fitness is right there, so we'd be walking past all the time. And every time I walk by your place, I'm like, is he home? I would just open the door and I'm like, yeah, he's home. What's up, man? And you'd be like, what's up? And I'm like, busy? I would just sit down and we would just talk until I'm like, all right, well, I gotta go. And you're like, cool. Well, I was doing shit, but thanks for stopping. Thanks for stopping by. But like, you always made time for people, man, and I fucking love that about you because too many people will give every excuse in the book to help you if it helps them or when they have time.
Yeah.
But you make time. You make time for everybody in your life, and I feel like Trey's probably somebody you've made a lot of time for. And it's easy to do that when you have, yes, a true mentor, but you are probably the most truest student that I've met. Wow. As a dance teacher, I've taught a lot of people. I've been around a lot of people. You are on a small handful of people that I can truly say that I would call first if I ever needed certain things. You listen well. You adapt well. You are a good personality to have around. You're not a bitch. Like...
Sometimes. You don't know that side of him yet.
No.
But I thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
For real, man. Like,
appreciate that.
You're a good ass dude, and since you were 5 years old and beat me on one of the biggest dance TV shows, I've had a lot of respect for you, man.
Dude, I love you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I love you too, dog. Your guys' relationship started before NBC.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. It
There's
wasn't
a picture actually, but it was
picture.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like lab times when you were probably like what 14.
This was in like 2014.
Did you
Just went to each
guys
other.
get closer after NBC?
Yeah, I think that's like what the show kind of made us like obviously closer because when you do like TV shows like that, you get close.
Spend a lot of time with each
every
other.
day, yeah.
And then which you know this, Mikey, like Tre, like one thing you can see from a great student is someone that asks the right questions.
100%. Right.
And that's kind of what Tre was doing. And I was like, dang, those are grown man questions. And my man's like me, just hella short. I was like, I like that. So it was, it's actually what I think, just started our friendship.
He's also down to die.
That's true.
I remember the video in rehearsal for NBC when you flipped off the desk, ate it hard.
Oh.
Everyone freaked out, and you jumped up like nothing happened, and you were so upset that he wasn't hurt.
I was so mad he wasn't hurt.
What the hell? You wanted me to get hurt?
My feelings were hurt that you weren't physically hurt.
You wanted me hurt.
I was like, how are you not hurt? Because I would have been a bitch on this moment. I would have said no, first of all.
Yeah. I think I was more scared. I think I was like a little hurt, but I was just scared to say like,
the
I'm
adrenaline?
good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Because we had stuff to do. You know, I was like, don't worry about that.
They're like school desks. They were like school desks, and he's flipping off a desk
Do you remember
onto another desk.
Do you remember that Quest Crew push flip where it's like we push one Asian in the air and he flips over other Asians?
Yeah.
And I was like, can we go from this like desk and then we'll push flip you over
A desk.
nothing,
Yeah.
and then you land on the other desk? And he was like, sure, let's do it. Even though I knew that was code for please don't fucking make me do this.
Right.
But he was down, and that's kind
Always
of the type
down.
of person that Tre is. He's even down, even if he knows he's gonna die.
Great student.
Yeah.
Those are the best, the ones that are just like, yep,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Let's do this shit now. Let's sure, whatever you want.
Just give me a second. Speaking of NBC, there was a rumor after you guys won that like you didn't really want to win. You just wanted to make the finale, get your name out, but what came with winning, the money, problems in the studio, all that, we just wanted to be there and then hope we lose, but be in that moment.
I wouldn't say. I don't think we went in wanting to lose. I think we definitely did. We had intentions of winning for sure from the get-go. Like that was part of the reason. But I think as we went along, just amongst just the kids and us dancers, like that wasn't like the only thing we cared about. We knew once we had, especially once we had gotten started and started getting a few rounds in, we realized like the weight and the impact of like what was happening. Like we cared more about just putting out good material, just representing ourselves because it's what we love to do. But then also the priority almost shifted in a selfish way. Like, oh, we just want this for ourselves, and we want to like feel our internal wins more so than the external win, because at that point nothing changes. We all did the same amount of dances, you know, so the only difference is just the result that happened after. So I think in a way, yes, the result didn't really change much, and so I'd say that wasn't really the goal once we got in. But I would say in an honest way, going into it, of course, you want to win because it sounds like the greatest thing to go win a TV show.
For sure.
Know?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know we're gonna get that opportunity again. Of course. You know, we had similar after experiences because you would assume you just made the finale of the biggest show right now. You know, S rank just HHI gold medalist, made the finale. You guys just won the show. We should all be taking off and doing a whole bunch of Kinja shit right now and Jabberwocky shit. And we all dispersed. We all dispersed. And that was pretty much the end of those moments. The 14 of us on S rank never danced together again after that day. You shortly left lab like not too long after that.
It was,
Same with
I'd
Logan.
say similar. I think we all kind of dispersed from our groups after that.
They were like, okay, cool, I'm good. And that had nothing to do with the dancers you were dancing with or those people. It was more, you were just ready to go on your own and go do your own thing? Or
honestly, I'd say it's a mix of a lot of things. I think one of the biggest things was being ready to just venture off into other things that were goals I had and just dreams and purposes that I felt I wanted to start chasing that really didn't align with where I was at the time. And I'd say that was the biggest factor in just wanting to explore what that meant. And then there was a little bit of a miscommunication of like where we wanted to go moving forward. And so I think a bunch of different things happened that kind of made it easier for us both to part ways. And
as a face of the franchise, you should have a say in where we go.
I would disagree because I think I didn't have a say in the beginning, and so I was just another one of the dancers, and so there's no extra weight that I should hold. And so I think that once I felt the confidence and the want to make choices like that, I knew that wasn't something I was going to be able to do there. And it's not my place to call shots somewhere where I'm a kid and like I have people who are directing, you know? So,
I wouldn't say call the shots, but I disagree. I think that just like you would Tom Brady, at some point after everything he's done for the franchise, they go to you and they want your opinion.
He called you the Tom Brady of dance, bro.
Of the lab.
Wow.
He's the Tom Brady of the lab.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So like, I feel like when it comes to a point where like we knew there were tiers in that group. You know what I mean? Like you, Logan, somebody else, tier 1. Like when you you think of the lab,
They know
When I think of the lab, like your face is first.
I mean, I know what you're saying though, Trey, because I feel like everybody on the lab is their own individual Trey or like their own individuals like light. Like
they all have the talent.
Even as much as stuff didn't work out, at the end of the day, Val, who runs the studio, is a genius, and she has shaped so many brilliant dancers that have before Trey, after Trey, and still going. But I think as far as like what you're saying, Mikey, is something special with Trey is that it almost doesn't matter what he's a part of. He has this ability to be a beam of light. Even if he was located in the back, he's kind of that person. So that I do agree with.
Yeah, 100%. But like, and then to my point though, it's like I'm not saying like whatever Trey says goes.
Of course.
But I feel like if I ran a company and I knew you were like one of my stars, and I knew that I was gonna put your face in the front of this, and you were gonna be the face of my company, or one of, like I want you feeling comfortable and confident in the direction that we're going in, because.
Is this your way of trying to get him on S rank?
Like, I don't even know if I'm on S rank.
Listen,
bro.
man, I'm telling you, the reasons why you should come to S rank.
Take it out of my bio.
I don't even know if I'm on S rank anymore, bro. Like, if there is one, I don't know.
Y'all
like,
are fire though. I loved S rank.
Yeah, man. It was cool for the moment that it was, and then we all just kind of. I think Melvin moved to France for 3 years. Like,
she was like, "What are y'all talking about?"
Well, I was in nail cutters with Lando.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Oh my God, I loved y'all, man. You guys were fire. Just the top women group.
With Ellen Kim.
And Lydia.
Lydia. Bro.
Yeah.
Or all the pronouns. I don't mean to just say bro. I mean all the pronouns. Yo, chill.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
I'm just like listening to y'all. I'm like reminiscing about my like dance crew days, you know, with the girls. But yeah, no, it's fun like listening because it's such a like you build your own like community, and it's like you make lifelong friends through these
100%
dance group crews.
For sure.
You know, so it's like very interesting and fun listening to y'all's story, and I'm like, oh yes.
Even if it's like just for a moment of your life, you know what I mean? Like that still holds such a heavy weight.
Yeah.
Which is why every crew that I've ever been on is tattooed on my right arm.
So, oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. You want to get on my crews? What's up? We need someone to be Brandon. Let me see. Branding as in like branding the company.
I have the S-Rank logo right here. This is Ocean's 11 right here.
Damn. You were part of Oceans?
Yeah.
Like the original group?
Not the original.
Because I didn't see any white folks on there.
No. There was one, Jordan.
For those that might not know.
Eclectic gentlemen.
What's that?
They were eclectic gentlemen
you
on the show.
Watch your language. What the hell did you just beatbox, my dude? He's an eclectic. You sound more Filipino than my whole family, motherfucker.
Dyslexic gentlemen.
He said, buck.
When they did ABDC, they were eclectic gentlemen because they couldn't use the term oceans.
Yeah. I remember because I judged that season. Yeah. They went home quick.
Very quick.
That's
But yeah, no, I was a part of Oceans with Fresh and Caleb and Coolio.
Squad, man. That group was fire.
Yeah, man.
So talented.
Just a brotherhood, just good times.
It seemed like it was similar to S Rank. Like it was like a group of Avengers in one crew.
Word.
Fire.
I appreciate that. Yeah. No, it was
Avengers of Dance. That's big.
It was a big group of, it was more personality and brotherhood than anything.
I would say it wasn't Marvel. It was probably more DC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever that Avengers group is, it was like that. Y'all was up there. I'm not trying to hate. I just want to be honest. I want people to know.
Justice League.
Yeah. Justice League.
Justice League is fire.
Because Avengers is Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Justice League is pretty good too.
I came fresh into the scene, and I was like, who are all these people and who are these guys? And I'm just such a fan. Like Ellen Kim, for example, first and foremost, I was watching Ellen Kim in China 25 years ago.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah. I had no idea who she was. I remember one specific dance to Monster by Nicki Minaj that she was doing on YouTube, and that dance blew my mind. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to meet her. She's one of my best friends now. She's my sister. And I just came out here.
You watched her that much that it just manifested.
Totally,
yeah.
a relationship with her. Really?
Same.
Yeah, okay, that's
we
what
all
I'm
have
saying.
one of those kind of
Yeah.
You're pointing at me?
Yes.
Hell yeah, thank you, man. You made me a living, bro. You watched my shit?
Yeah.
Nice, man. I monetized
Yeah.
Made you some money.
I monetized our
You think
relationship.
you come around if you didn't?
Like Quest Crew too. I was watching in China, and I was like on MySpace,
Damn.
searching everybody's profile just being like,
I
who
love
is this guy? Who is
MySpace.
this person? Who's this girl? Like,
They gotta
Quest
make
Crew
that again.
specifically
I miss
too.
MySpace.
Yeah.
I never got on it, but I've heard about it. Like how you got to like make your own like.
Oh my
whole-
gosh, yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want that.
Honestly, I don't know how we all learned how to code.
Yeah, we were learning how to code.
We learned from Zanga.
Yeah.
Is it coding or is it just copy and paste?
But like you copy paste and you go in and you can like take out certain
Yeah,
words and change
totally.
colors.
Yeah,
and
we-
change
yeah, we-
things.
Totally.
yeah, you
I
thought
wanna
we thought
do
we
that.
thought we was
Yeah, we
killing
thought we
it.
could
No.
code, bro.
And then
we had profile songs that we choose from. I had a music profile that I put music up on.
The top 8.
Bro,
Oh
I
my
used
God.
to threaten
Bro,
people
would
so
get
much.
mad.
Yeah.
People get
Oh,
mad.
no,
Like,
it was
hey,
bad,
right?
Relationships
Yeah.
were
You
killed.
knew who was in what relationship by how it shifted.
Oh,
People
bro.
were asking
Yeah.
because
You
you
put
were
them
like,
in order, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and a
I
girl
love
had broken
that.
up because she was number 2
Right.
and not number 1 over my best friend. And I used to threaten
Girls
people
first,
like,
man.
yo, keep talking shit, man. I'm gonna move you off. You gonna be
Right.
off this top.
you
page.
were
keep-
threatening your friends. Wow,
Yeah.
I'm so happy
Yeah.
we weren't friends on
Yeah.
MySpace.
I know.
For real.
But that's how you also talk to your friends. Like
Yeah.
that's how you give code. Like motherfucker, you going to 9.
Yes.
Now you know where we're at.
Yeah.
You know where we're
Once
at.
once 16 and 32 came out, I started lying. Like I put Ian Eastwood there, and I never met him in my life. And I was like, yeah, me, E, like, yeah, it's
Hey,
cool.
we're not that cool right now. We're not
Yeah.
that cool
Wait,
right now.
wait, Sheila,
we're not that cool right now.
you're originally from where?
I grew up in Shanghai.
Okay.
So I'm half Chinese, but I grew up in Shanghai.
Okay.
And I was overseas when all like.
When did you move?
2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same. No.
You did too, right?
Here, yeah.
Yeah.
From
I know
Florida,
Terrence
right?
too.
Mikey?
New York.
No, from Florida, yes,
Yeah.
but I was there for 2 years. I just went to college in Florida, but I'm originally from upstate New York, and then spent some time in Northern Nevada.
That's where
Reno,
you get
Tahoe.
that. That's where you get that twang. Because when you first, and I remember you, and from Florida, and I was like, really, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But now I can kind of hear the hood in you. I like it. It's like it's like a little bit of hood / a little bit of like, yeah, what's
Yeah,
up?
yeah,
like
yeah.
like, are you
Yeah.
want one of these 8 counts? You're
Yeah.
trying to beat my ass, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like East Coast in
It
you,
is the
huh?
East Coast in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
also look like you're like part of the mob too. Like you look
I could have been
really? Are you
Yeah.
Italian?
100%.
Cause you look like you're about to do Godfather's
I'm an Italian New
2024.
Yorker. My grandfather was a mafia boss in my city.
Get the fuck out of here.
He died. He died when I was 2. Yeah, so like I never like got to see that side of it, but my mom tells me stories all the
Whoa.
time.
That's dope.
That's pretty legendary.
Yeah, so I'm curious, like if he was still alive when I was growing up, like if that would have shifted my life in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
You know, staying in like family business or whatever.
Right,
the fuck.
right.
Like,
It's pretty prominent, right? Like all the
Yeah.
men, like you kind of like follow in line of like.
kind of, yeah. I mean, they
Right.
breed you into that, you
Yeah.
know, and then it's
Damn.
So your bloodline's like killer, but you're a very nice choreography. Like you're like, I don't believe in fighting. I believe
I'm
in
a
these 8
dancer.
counts. Fuck these guns. Give me some Chris Brown. Don't act like you don't choreograph to that motherfucking shit.
I think Chris Brown is
Love Chris Brown.
one of the greatest entertainers of our era.
True.
I it's
agree.
hard because I try to like look, like you gotta separate the music from the person sometimes if we talking about like supporting is one thing.
Sure.
Like I'm not out here like buying R. Kelly's albums.
Right.
I hope you're not
You know-
doing anything R. Kelly, but that's cool.
You know what I mean? But like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, his music was
course.
trash.
Of course.
Like it was great music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Michael Jackson had great music.
Right.
Great entertainment.
I think I have this philosophy where it's like the better the music, the more you forget what their real life, like
Sure.
what they've done.
Yeah.
Like
Because you're disassociating.
Yeah.
Like you meant.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Right.
It's
when
just,
Chris Brown legit admitted that he punched Rihanna, I was like, I don't know. But then Fame came out. You remember the album?
Yeah, that album.
That
a great
was
album.
Great
I
album.
forgot. I was like, oh, Rihanna who?
Yeah.
And it's kind of jacked up, but it is
Yeah.
kind of true. That's why R. Kelly, it's like you made a couple good hits. I'm cool. I'm straight.
I feel like it's like differentiating like the artist.
Yeah.
Knowing that like when they made that song, they're not making it with this intent of like whatever bad thing they're tied to now.
For sure.
Like that wasn't their reason or
Yeah.
motive behind this song. And so
Right.
you're tying to the song and the feeling of what that is and
Yeah.
not like, oh, well, this is the person who did it.
Yeah.
So any other person could have made that song. and
Kind
you'd-
of.
You'd feel the same way.
Kind of, because I feel
You know
like a
what I
true
mean?
artist needs pain in order to create.
Yeah.
So
True.
it's almost like they sabotage. Like I need these new hits, so I need to hit my girl. Like I feel like it's kind of jacked up.
Yeah,
but
that's true. That's
if
true.
your life is going so great, what do you have to make songs about?
Right.
It's a terrible album.
And you've seen people
That's fair.
who
It's terrible,
are
but
living
it's true.
such a great life make music, and you're like,
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not like I'm out here like buying tickets to their concerts and I'm
Right,
not
right.
buying their this and getting their merch and going to their shows and their meeting. Like I'm not supporting
Right,
in that
of
way.
course.
But when it comes to the music and
You can
what
be
I hear,
subjective, yeah.
like, and even what I see, like last night, me and Marianne wanted to educate Zoe on some live performances. So we went and like looked up like 2010's best live performances of. You know,
I thought you were gonna say we took her to a live performance, but why not show her on the tube? Fuck it.
Yeah, I took my 4-year-old to see Chris Brown. He started with music videos. He's like, I don't like this. I was like, okay. So we did live shows, and we just pulled Beyonce and Britney and
Live shows are the best.
and a whole bunch of
Yeah.
live shows.
Yeah.
And Chris Brown's MTV Music Awards show that he did with Rihanna when he did the Charlie Chaplin.
Yes.
That live performance is one of my favorite live performances of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Of course.
So I threw that on. I was
So,
like,
you're-
this is
so
crazy.
he was feeling it. He liked the show.
Yeah, he's super into that shit.
Did you take him to World of Dance?
I've taken him to monster shows. I've taken him to a couple of live World of Dances.
Yo, monster shows
Yeah.
are slept on,
100%.
right?
100%.
If you're a dancer in LA, like the show you should be looking forward to every year is a monster showcase where they bring the cast.
I take him to battles, the World of Dance battles.
Ooh.
I take him into that room. Marianne sits
Does
in
he?
the front
Does he
row
get?
with him
Does
on
your,
the
does your
lap.
son get down?
He gets
Yeah?
down, bro. We don't tell him. We don't teach him.
Oh, because you want to make sure he
better.
just.
He
It's
just
better that way.
watches and reciprocates, and then just like gets inspired.
That's cool.
I don't want to be one of those parents that's like, you need to go do this, you need to go do that. Be like that. Be like that.
That's
It's
better.
like
See, if I were you, I'd be stealing the shit. I'd be like, son, go to freestyle. I'm like, I'm
Marianne
gonna
did.
take that shit.
Marianne
Okay.
did. Hey, Dom, this is gonna be a question for you mainly.
Oh snap! Oh, yo, I didn't see you there. Hey, you know, while I got you here though, let's talk about a sponsor that literally made this show possible. Co-Create Studios is located in Van Nuys, California, and it's open 7 days a week. And they got a room completely dedicated to everything you're gonna need for your podcast or your web series. And they got cameras. They got mics. They got lights. And they got a live cut feature that's gonna knock down your post-production immensely. So, you looking for a creative space for your next project? Co-Create. Yeah? Check them out ASAP, get in that room, and I can't wait to see what you create at Co-Create.
You pour your all into every aspect that you do, right? And you've been able to do a lot of different dance shows. You've done World of Dance, you've done ABDC, you've done So You Think.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, isn't it?
It'd be a lot of people. I think it's a lot of dancers.
We'll compete for money, whatever. Whatever it is. If there's a competition dance show, I'm doing it.
I don't even mean just as a contestant. You've judged them.
judge,
you
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you've choreographed for them. Like you've been able to work with the biggest dance shows in the world, and every time there's a new one, you get a call. Like I feel like that's a lot of dancers.
It's mostly
goals
because
in life.
people would just say no, like they go to like the people they really want, and they're all busy.
And they're
then
like, we know, okay, Dom, at least. Like, but one, is there like major differences between the three where you prefer to work with one over the other? And what would those differences be? Being a judge, were there like some hard truths that you kind of found out?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a TV show,
Right.
the Fox show. Okay, anyways,
Yes.
that one taught me a lot about how it comes down to like, yeah, there's America's vote, but at the end of the day, the EP can make decisions how they want.
'Cause you don't
I mean,
see these
motherfuckers
votes.
were like literally getting like cut in the Vegas week, like second round, and then all of a sudden they're in the top 20.
Yeah.
Oftentimes blonde with blue eyes, which is not a bad thing. They are very much talented. However, it taught me that it's about characters and TV show. And then Quest Crew taught me as individuals, like the group, even though I am a part of it, they taught me that as long as it's dope, it doesn't matter. And ironically, on ABDC, when we did it back when Jesus was born in 2009.
Yeah, that's when he was born.
There was another girl group on there called Beat Freaks, and they were
Yes.
like the best dancers in the industry of women.
Shorty.
In one group, yeah, Shorty,
Yeah.
Reno,
Teresa,
just
yeah.
everybody. They were all
my
hitters,
gosh,
and the
I'm
show.
obsessed.
We actually ended up winning that show. However, on the rap party that night, the producers came up to us and they were pretty drunk, and they were like, "You guys weren't supposed to win. It was supposed to be your girl group, but." We couldn't go against the votes. And I was like, why are you acting like that, Randy Jackson? Yeah, so it wasn't actually Randy Jackson for contract agreement's sake.
It was Randall.
But that taught me a lot about like, if you're dope, it doesn't matter, right? And then judging too, I don't know, I just feel like if you're really good and you're changing lives, I think that's all that really, really matters. So when it got to the lab on NBC, I just remember like us talking a lot about like, yeah, this is the choreography, but it's about helping 7 billion plus people as opposed to winning.
Yeah.
For example, Twitch. he got second place in every dance show ever, but
And
he
no
won
one's
it live.
exceeded further
Yeah.
than
But he won it
100%.
live. So I think knowing that, it really doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you win.
Yeah.
I was 8th place on So I Thought I Can Dance.
So
but
I thought-
I ended up judging, and then I got fired. So I thought I can judge.
Can't do.
But
judge
it's
who
one
can.
of those things that it's like what I was talking about earlier, Ashley, with you. It's about like, yeah, you can have the ability, but people fall in love with the person and
Yeah.
the light behind the ability. As cliche as that sounds, and Quest is again another group that like we won without even winning. We were having a blast literally the whole time.
Yeah.
They taught me that like literally you don't need to stress to make stuff. You can fuck around and make stuff and just not worry about that. Plus, when you split $100,000 after taxes with like 9 people,
Y'all got like
it's like
$2,000.
yeah, and
money for gas.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
trained for 2 year or a year and a half before it, 2 months of the show. That's like less than minimum wage, like minimum wage in the 1900s.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not really, So I think ultimately it comes down to something that every dancer should think about is you can have all the ability in the world. We've seen the best dancers come in and out of LA, but one thing that's most important is your value as a human. To other people, and I think that's what wins with or without winning.
Yeah,
Right.
and I would say
said, yeah.
alongside Twitch, you're one of those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm black.
1000%.
You're getting closer.
Hey, shout outs to Twitch, man.
No, 100%, man.
Yeah.
I tell his story all the time. Even when he was alive, I always, people I mentor who go on these shows or go in the competition worlds who stress about not getting first place and things. And I was like, who never ever won shit, Twitch. And who's the most famous dancer in the world right now? Twitch. Like, it doesn't matter about what the end result is. It's the experience throughout and how you carry that going forward.
Yep.
And how people remember you.
It was him. It'll
100%.
always be him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So even through the entire NBC with S rank and, half the team was stressing about this, that, and the third. And I was like, man, if we win, we win. Cool. If not, it don't matter. Like, let's just make sure we go out there and put out a good fucking product so that we have something to push forward later. Of
course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It always does.
And that's 100% what it was.
Yeah. Keone Mara didn't win their season either, but
But they won.
they're one of the biggest takeaways from that season, and just in general, what it did for them and what they gave back to everyone else. That's a win in itself.
That's
just
one thing.
depends-
Keone and Mari are like the definition of what every dancer should want to be like, which is there is skill, but at the end of the day, what are you doing to add
Yeah.
value to humanity?
Staying true.
And that equation needs to be asked for any dancer for themselves, and then you need to find that answer in order to be able to make it. What I mean by making it is you can make all the money you want, but if you're not putting that money back into humanity and figuring out different ways to create for it, that's all it really is.
For sure.
And that's all that's happening right now, I think, in our world is you can be a taker, a trader, or a giver.
Yeah.
And the ability to literally give without any expectation, but giving to help is the only ones that are going to be able to make more fuel to be able to drive further in their paths or their career.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
This got real for an 8 count. Oh, shit. I just blacked out. Fuck.
I don't think it's said enough, honestly, because now the generation, they're getting younger and younger, and I feel like purpose or alignment or just it gets blurred with a lot of with shiny objects, you know?
Yeah.
So like this kind of mentality or thought process, it's important to reiterate time and time again so people can realize there is a reason, and the reason might not be what you have in mind. But you need to know that there are other reasons out there.
Yeah. I think we all face that, right? As like a dancer in your
entertainer.
Path. It really does. Like we all face that. Like the truth be told, like I started February 28th, 1999, and it was because I wanted pussy. Like I wanted girls like really bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not the Zach at the time. I'm not the Zach Morris or the AC Slater of the group. I was Asian, so not even Asians wanted us. So I really wanted girls. And over time, it's like, okay, maybe that does work out or it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But when you get further into your career and you always create for yourself over time, it's like how can I help more people? Oh, maybe this piece belongs on this person. And you start thinking like, so you have to really come to terms of like, why am I doing this? And if you're doing it for yourself, great job, but you're gonna have to think past that in a more compassionate way of how do I do this? Yeah, obviously for yourself, but to benefit and help more people, and it becomes greater or bigger than you.
Exactly.
So we were talking about this off camera earlier, Mike. You were talking about, which I very much relate to, is like COVID happened, and then all of a sudden we got less phone calls from people, and you know our closest friends were like, "Are we as close?" But the truth be told is like everybody's trying to figure it out right now.
For sure.
Everybody is trying to figure it out right now, and we naturally tend to do what we can to survive. So we're trying to figure out ways to do this, and that's majority of the world, and definitely majority of the U.S.
Yeah.
So the only way to fully come to terms with it and not be someone that's trying to do that, which I get we have to, but being born on welfare and doing this, it doesn't work.
Right.
So it's almost like you have to be able to give 100%, creating for yourself, doing things, doing jobs and doing everything that's going to benefit beyond your bank account. And I think I can almost guarantee and promise your bank account will not have to suffer because it's there for humanity. No. Our millennial generation is like the last generation where hard work really pays off. We were taught like the harder you work, the more you pay off. And to be honest, I think the younger generation is actually the brightest. You know, I think their ability to have a library in their hand and them researching and learning, they're kind of born into just a higher state of understanding.
Exactly.
But for the right reason.
Big ass cheaters.
Being cheaters for the right reason.
I agree. I agree.
You cheated a lot in school, didn't you?
No, I actually didn't.
No?
No. Not in school.
You weren't over here Googling answers and shit?
Well, once I was homeschooled, absolutely.
I think you should ask him whether or not he showed up. Because I remember on the lab during NBC, I was like, y'all going to school? Like, how y'all?
Oh, we barely were. Yeah. Well, yeah, but no.
Yeah, they got the teachers on set.
Yeah, we had the teachers on set, but like they were just there.
They make you sit there.
We didn't have to really do our schoolwork.
No?
I mean,
Just look like you're in the book.
just look like you're doing something. And then when they weren't looking at it, just go to something else and just. I think that's one of the biggest things. Even I would never claim I'm like older now either, but even people who are younger than me, I see the same thing in them. Like where you just see they're like way ahead of like where I was at their age. I'm like, dang, like the way that we all just keep progressing past the next person in front of us, or sorry, behind us.
Yeah,
it's always fun because then you get to see the way things are growing, and it almost feels like a push because like now, not in like a ego way, but like you don't want them to like beat you out. You're like, oh, I'm not done yet. Like I still have more I want to do.
I feel that.
And so it's almost like motivation for you to keep up and keep going until there will be one day where you know like they're just so far ahead of you. Like it's your time. What everyone used to say about us, like being like the next ones, you're young, like you have all this ahead of you, and now seeing that firsthand with other people, it's inspiring to see like the way things keep like pushing forward, and it lights a fire under your own ass. Like, wow, like, if they could do that, then I got to keep going. You know, I have no reason. I have of the awareness and the hard work to be able to get there too. So I can't just let them take it because they can.
Right.
You know?
Sheila, you brought up something really important. You were talking about how like the new generation dancers like figuring out the purpose of why they're dancing. Yeah. And I think a lot about how when we started, we didn't have reality shows or we didn't have YouTube stuff. So we kind of almost had to dance for
love.
or like just to express and you know. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then obviously with Tre's generation, they're born into a generation where literally that's in front of their face and that's what's cool.
It's different.
So it's almost like if they started dancing for potentially to be on this show or to for the numbers, we almost can't get completely upset at that because that's how they were born into it. Right. However,
of course,
even the ones that are the leaders of that, someone like Tre, they had found somewhere in themselves where it's like, oh, it's not about the numbers or the win. And then it so happens that that's why he got the numbers and the win.
Right.
You know, so I think that's a great point, Sheila.
Yeah,
like, that's a huge point.
And that comes with having a good mentor.
True. Yeah. Very true.
Is the irony, the irony is that Tre's my mentor. I'm like asking him like,
but that's a good thing though.
Yeah, that's the simultaneous relationship you have going on. The dynamic. That's how it should be.
He keeps you young. He keeps you young, man.
I wish he kept me fit.
Sorry, man. I think working on my piano skills.
Going off of that, like I feel like I can speak for myself too.
Yeah.
When you start really young and you start for ulterior reasons where you're just motivated by people you've seen before you and the great things they do, then not that that's your reason, but once it comes down to you asking yourself, once you're aware enough to know what a reason for dancing is, then like you're like, wait, I don't know why I'm dancing yet. Like, and so having to figure that out is a whole other process that I would even say for myself just recently went through years ago, and even people I know, friends of mine, you don't really think about it because you're just going. You ride the train, you keep going. Like, this is what they did. We're gonna do the same thing.
Right.
But then you hit that point, like now you need to see, what's your real drive? What's your real motivation? Why are you doing this?
That's kind of the cool part with COVID. It made us all go inside of ourselves.
Yeah.
We're like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing this shit?
And so I think that was one of the biggest parts of like, and that's again for this next generation, that's gonna be theirs. There will be TikTok, seeing everyone who maybe of my generation, like we like have videos and like, oh, I want to make videos and like just post like that, and then now that's gonna be their hurdle to jump over to then get past that, and then elevate into like their real reasons.
I think the only issue I find with that is that the new era of like instant gratification. Yeah. Because of social media, they see the outcome. They don't see the lab aspect of it. So they just assume that everyone needs to be at a certain point at a certain time. Of course. You know what I mean?
In a weird way, like I feel the same way, but in the grand scheme of things, I also look at it like, how cool is it that this is the first time in human history where a dancer can find something in their hand that looks like the dancer is the lead of their own self, right?
Yeah.
And that's like the benefits of it. Yeah, obviously, are they putting in the time and do the numbers make up for it? However, I would not turn that down. Like, 100%. I feel like if I had zero skill and I was popping off on TikTok and I could feed and take care of people, at the end of the day, it's like...
You'd be a dick to say no.
It's almost weird. It's almost like we need, at a time where everybody's sharing their opinion, we need the world to shut the fuck up and dance more, because I feel like there's more information there.
Yeah.
There's more we can connect more
for sure
on dance. So it's like weird. I spent years also feeling that way of like, why is this person this way? And obviously I'm also like one of those people, but it's like, at the end of the day, as long as someone is dancing, like that needs to be happening more.
Totally.
Obviously, if they're like, yeah, look at me, I'm the best, I got all these numbers and money, whatever that is.
There are those.
I think the ability to like, I don't know how you guys got inspired or who it was, but I don't even know if they're relevant today. But I know that the person that first inspired me, no one would ever know who they are.
Yeah.
And they might have started for the wrong reasons, but it didn't matter because it still started me on this path.
It still continues the train of dance moving forward in some way. And as long as it's moving, it's better than it staying still, because that means it's getting talked about, and that means that people are sharing. And as long as people are sharing, there's always going to be different avenues of who's sharing in a positive way or negative way. But I think anyone who's interested enough will know how to like differentiate the two, and they're never going to get confused between Charlie D'Amelio and Keone Madrid. You know, they're not going to like put them on the same like hierarchy and like what they mean to dance and what they do. Like, it's completely different. And I think it took a second for everyone to realize, like, it's not the same thing. Right? Just because there's more numbers here, that doesn't mean the impact was the same.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so I think just accepting that, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
It's just the fact that they're on the same platform that people tend to get confused.
Yeah.
But I also want to add to that, because recently I just feel like connecting with people, creators, entertainment, my audience, or whatever, in a world where like insecurity is more common than confidence, like this really gives people the opportunity to build that confidence, starting from the background into the forefront, into the camera, like versus doing it in person or whatever. And then I see stuff on social media all the time that really doesn't bring value to my life, or I'm not really that impressed, but I feel so compassionate for them putting themselves out there in a way that I'm like, this is what it's about. Like, I want people to like be confident in their own skin, their own like personality, their own character, and just want to share that with the world.
What's wrong with you?
Low battery.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
All right, dude. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having us. It was so great, man.
On that note, we gonna wrap this show up. Trix Tre, I appreciate y'all both, man.
Dude, thank you.
Everything I said, I meant, and I wouldn't bring you on the show if it wasn't for that. Y'all my dogs for life.
Thank you for having us, man.
Yeah, everybody out there, make sure you do all this stuff. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. 5-star reviews on all this stuff. Do that. You know what to do. You guys have been doing it for the last 10 years. So I appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having us.
Until next time.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.